Hello everyone and welcome to this analysis of this Great League team, which consists of Gallade, alolan, Marowak and Froslass. All of them have regular standard movesets. So I chose to run this team because there were so many fighting types yesterday when I played. There were Medichamps and Toxicroaks all over the place, and even some Primates and a lot of defense Deoxys, so I thought this team would do good. In total I won 26 of them and lost 8. 2 of those losses were due to lag, and I also tied once. So all in all, this team had a great win percentage, and now I will show you the battles from a 5-0 run. So the first opponent starts with Toxicroak, which is great for me, and he even stays in for two confusions, so I'm in a great spot already. The only way I lose this is if he has a bulldoze. That's why I shielded the first one, even though I only counted 4 confusions. So it was most likely Aster Psyshock. But to be on the safe side, since I'm in such a big advantage. And he also decides to use both his shields on Bronzong. So I'm in a terrific spot. I send in Froslass here to farm down, since Froslass with energy advantage is very strong. And then I blindly fire off a Shadow Ball here, because if he sent in Toxicroak I didn't want to take a charge move. As you see here, I didn't fire off the close combat immediately, because I want to desync our fast moves so that he is not able to use his Toxicroak as an extra shield. So in the next battle, my opponent leads Metametal. If you check PvP, this is a great situation for me, because I win in all of the shield scenarios, but it's actually bait dependent, so I don't like this matchup. I get the first bait, and then I try to one-shot him with close combat. But sadly he reads me, and yeah, then I'm out of there, because I don't like the situation. I use alolan Marowak as a safe switch, because even though many run Azumarill, it's not that bad of a matchup, because two Shadow Balls almost KOs Azumarill. And if they don't have Hydro Pump, it's entirely okay. So he managed to reach an Ice Beam, and here I think for a few seconds what I want to do, and I know that he has a Metametal with no energy in the back. That's why I send in Froslass, because I managed to get off 2 Powder Snows, which means that I'm faster to an Avalanche than he is to a Rock Slide. So yeah, and then Tropius is just one shot with Avalanche. Now it's the third game, which is a really interesting one, because my opponent leads Altaria. And if you use this team, you cannot switch out in this matchup. You have to stay in with Gallade and do the best of the situation. So yeah, my opponent actually switches out to an Azumarill, which is great for me, because now I can fire off these Leaf Blades. And he uses both of his shields, but I see that I need to use this shield, because one Shadow Ball is not enough to KO him from that range, and I won't be able to reach 2 Shadow Balls. So I send in Froslass. I make 7 Powder Snows instead of 6, because I know that he empties his energy. And now it's a fairly even game. But I don't know what he does here. He uses a Focus Blast for no reason. I still think I would have won, even if he used the Flash Cannon instead, because Altaria is in Shadow Ball range. But yeah, it's entirely possible to win even if you lose the matchup with this team. But against Altaria you have to stay in. Next up is a very interesting team that my opponent uses. Very spicy. I never played against a superior before, so I didn't even know what moves it had, but I expected it to be grass moves, so I don't shield and then I farm it down. Yeah, so this is almost over before it began. That thing is very spicy. But he had a high rating, so I guess he had some success with it. So now in the 5th game, it's an Altaria lead again, and now I can show you how I play this matchup. I use exactly 7 confusions. That's important, because 7 confusions take 14 seconds to do, and Altaria takes 15 seconds to get to 2 sky attacks. And then I bait, and then I fire off close combat immediately. And I've never played against an Altaria that does not take the bait, because they just don't want to lose their energy, and then they does anyway, or sometimes they even use 2 shields, and then you farm it down with Froslass. But now I won the lead, and I have a hard counter to Registeel, so I'm in a great spot. I have to get out of there as soon as possible, and this is not that good of a matchup, since he has an energy advantage, but I know that I can reach 2 Shadow Balls before he reaches 4 Mud Bombs. So that's what I do. And I use the shield here, and I fire off another Shadow Ball, and then I will immediately switch and use Bone Club. So that now he's locked in with Registeel against my alolan Marowak, which is extremely favorable for me. Alolan Marowak can easily tank 2 flash cannons. So that's it, that's the 5-0 run. So all in all, some finishing thoughts. This team is very offensive, so you need to be aware of how you use your shields, and you need to always count your confusions with Gallade. You take 3 confusions to reach Leaf Blade and 4 to reach close combat. All 3 of these Pokemon are great counters to fighting, and they also, as a small bonus, they all counter Venusaur fairly hard. You need to think about, if you can get Gallade into a matchup with Azumarill, then you need to fire off 2 Shadow Balls from the other 2. If you face a Skarmory lead, you need to switch to Froslass as soon as possible. If you face an Altaria lead, then you need to do exactly 7 confusions, and then a Leaf Blade, and then a close combat, just like you saw in the last game. This team is fairly weak to Umbreon and Sableye, so if you meet them you are probably going to lose, but there is some hope if you can land a close combat on Umbreon or a Shadow Ball on Sableye. Haunter has not been that much of a problem, since it just melts to Gallade's confusions. And that's all I had to say. So thanks for watching.